have Ethereum, symbol ETH versus the dollar. And what do we have right here? We do have a nice test down to the green 55. And if you are playing this from a macro structure, I mean, technically speaking, you should be looking for a bounce from that region. With that said, I do hold some reservations with that, as I do suspect that Bitcoin could maybe have another swipe lower or two, which would probably bring Ethereum down to like the low 3,000, maybe even the upper 2,900s. That's really, if I were trading this, where I'd be interested in this, and actually have been interested in Ethereum more and more. Recently, this one actually trades rather technically, and it gives some pretty like nice moves from what I can gather. Anyways, looking at the short-term timeframes right here, we do have a breakdown of structure. We do have continuation, and we do see that BBWP is continuing to expand. I suspect that this this indicates that we still do play out this move a little bit more. Short-term timeframes, though, do we bounce first? I think it's already kind of trying to bounce right here. If it bounced back up to 3250, that'd be completely fine. But as long as this thing's below even. And this is not even helpful right here because it's so far away now. We should have done this video like hours ago, but as long as below about 3360 or so, I don't look at that as anything resembling a reversal. Even on the short-term timeframes, I do expect that all short-term bounces very likely get canceled, and this one does play a little bit lower. But low 3000 is kind of where we're looking on this one, tentatively speaking. You can see that there's a lot of wicks put in within this region. You might even call that a liquid zone. And that's kind of where we'd be looking to if I was still long-term bullish in this, which, to be fair, there's still a lot of good things about this. Remember, we are coming into the end of the quarterly. All right, let's do this chart right here. We're coming to the end of the quarterly at the end of this month, and any sort of a closure, I mean, that's just not even relevant right now. Above about 2,300 will be closing on new all-time highs for the quarterly and above the topside trailing band. But again, remember where the bi-monthly closed at the end of August leading into September. This is it's not an engulfing necessarily, but this is a bullish setup right here. So long term, I actually still do like this one. So I do expect that this is a little bit more on the hopium side, maybe alongside the moon indicators as well. But with that said, any sort of a downside move there, at the very least, I would be looking for a bouncy bounce. Let's go check out momentum oscillators over here too and see where we're at. Full hour, or no, hourly is going to be popping up if we do close above 3230. Okay, interesting. Again, like I said, this one could rally up all the way to 3360, and I would still say it's not that interesting. 3224 on the 4 hour. So if you do start to see those levels being cleared, one very likely does bounce first before anything else and carries it out, maybe even all the way to 33. 12 hour, where are we at? Headed down as long as below about 3430. Okay, and daily is freshly down and rejecting getting out of the bearish control zone as long as we are below 3432 actually. So again, short term, a little bit of bouncy right there. And then I'd probably be looking for one more wick down, probably around the same time that traditional markets opens later today. And I'm also getting another downside signal from my experimental indicator, but overall, do need to be aware of where we are in the grand scheme of things. And that would actually just be another test down around the 5-day 21 right here. So I would at the very least be looking for a bounce around that region and then come back to it after that. But for right now, gonna trade with the rest of the market, and probably easier to watch Bitcoin direction or just watch, NASDAQ or maybe even HSI right now. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go, sir.